Yeah, I got you. I'll cue you. We a little professional now. We got better. Oh, I got wine. That's lit. That's lit. All the real ones. You can message her.
We never come forward and say we don't need capital.
No cap. To be capped up.
10 o'clock on the gram, no you should check me. Here for an hour, I promise this talk is heavy. I'm cooking, just getting started, don't go asking if it's ready. I'll be damn like we about to break a levee. I sweat all of this content, push my conscience to a beautiful dark, twisted fantasy. I'm a monster, my posture looking like we was winning Oscars. Far from an act, but still acting like we got sponsors. Define us by the work we do, you know the work of few. Willing to get down in the trenches for the perfect view. So if you at me, then be sure to mention purpose too. And alignment, we own it, far from consignment. I seen the light, it was blind to contribute this all the timing. Let it breathe till you find it. Get fresh, then set the table for guests. I told you that we was cooking, this compliments to the chef. Let's go.
Good morning, creatives, and welcome to another episode of Cooking a Late Night. I am your host, Cook, and as always, I'm here to bring you the best in creative innovations for ownership, opportunities, and all that good stuff we need as creatives, especially them gems, right? And we got some jimmies dropping for y'all tonight. Trust and believe. Christen got them all prepared. We're going to even cue them up to make sure y'all can follow along, take notes, whatever you need to do. Today is going to be the day to do it. But with that said, man, we are now officially in our 70s. That's right. We are 5 away from the 75th episode special. And let me tell you, that's going to be a whole treat we'll talk about later. But before we get into that, we got to cook up a little bit, right? It's morning time. We got to cook up real quick. So my guy, Hef, take over. Let me know what we doing today, man.
What's good, y'all? My name is Hef, also known as Blue Hef, coming from the Bronx, New York. You can catch me on Instagram at Blue Hef. That's BLUEH3FF. BLUEH3FF. Now, this is my second time on the show, so I'm happy to be a part of the show tonight. So I'm going to cook up some things. Cook up my recipe, chop up some things, and then chef it to y'all real quick. So check me out, all right?
Hey, man, I'm in my bag. I'm ready to go. I'm glad you're back on the show, Hef. You on a wall of fame. You know, you've been here for a minute. But for those who just came back to the screen, I know y'all see somebody a whole star sitting next to me. Krista, what's going on?
Hey, y'all. My voice cracking.
I mean, you know, there's wine. I've heard there's something to help with the vocal cords. You need water. I'm gonna go wine. Let me stop like I don't got a white t-shirt on. First and foremost, please introduce yourself to those who may not be familiar.
I don't know why I'm so nervous. Like, Cook, you're making me nervous. Like, I'm sweating. It's a lot going on.
I had to call a stylist to sit next to you. Don't talk to me about nerves, all right? I had to get my life right.
Job.
Hey, man, shout outs to Brian, you know? But yeah, so please tell us about yourself.
Yes. So hi, everybody. My name is Christen Johnson, and I'm the CEO of Sophisticated Chic Brand, a personal styling firm for professional women. I help them make an impact and a statement with style. And then I'm also a newfound style biz coach. So I help stylists start their businesses, grow and scale their businesses to where I am today. So it's cool.
Hey, and you know, like you say a stylist, but you're not like, you know, like around the way stylist. Like you big time professional, boss up, like bring the bag and get a bag.
I'm
like
not there yet.
Nah, I seen it. I seen it. You know, I've seen it. But you know, I would love to like really dive into your journey because one, I mean, like even looking into like you went to school for like business, like you were on like the different paths. Like, how did you get on the stylistic path?
I honestly don't even know. I mean, I always told people that I wanted to start a business. I knew I wanted to have my own thing, but I didn't really know what it could be. I knew that I also liked fashion, but I never put like the 2 and 2 together until after college, like when I didn't have any money. So I started like literally with nothing. And I connected with people. One of my closest friends, Tone, she's a stylist, and I started with her. And it just, I guess, blew up. since, but I don't even think I blew up, but I definitely have grown since I started.
Yeah, nah. I mean, and a couple things, because you are a style, like so much, like you got your own camera, like that's how stylistic you are. Like you got your own camera. I can only talk to y'all this way, But I mean, from even what I've seen, like looking back, because all right, we're not gonna show y'all yet. We're gonna make sure we get the approval. Because I mean, like this is like some
But he really had to do some research because me and Cook don't even like know each other like that. Like,
but y'all know me.
So I know you had to do research.
Of course, because you here, right? Like you get the same CSI investment. Not. Can we show early?
Show it.
We
I
can
had
show
hair
like I mean, honestly, like, but
I don't even look the same on the photo on the intro. But it's okay.
every photo you switch it up, right? But I mean, no, but like, because this is like I would say like college years.
That was freshman year.
Freshman year. So like even freshman year of college, like you're in this whole major, but you still have like this style of being current, but yet upscale, right? Mm-hmm. Like and fly with it. Like so I'm so sophisticated. Oh, I'm sorry. It's a versus thing. But for you, like, where does this style come from? Like, what is your inspiration? Coming out of Baltimore, what's your inspiration and style?
I mean, I don't even know where it came from. I know my dad, he won like best dress in high school. My sister was always into fashion, so I just always stole her clothes. And
wait, are you the youngest?
I am the youngest. It's only two of us. We're 9 years apart. Oh. And yeah, it's kind of far, but we're still kind of close in age, kind of. But I don't know. I think I really got my style from her and my dad, and just loving fashion, seeing people, and it just was already in me, I guess. And it grew as I got older. So that's really how I can explain it.
Okay. So at what point, like you talked about getting out of school and kind of, not necessarily financially having it all together to really walk this stylistic world, because I'm gonna tell you something. All right, I hit Ross. All right, I find the deals.
Ross, I'm so sorry.
I find the deals for me, okay? Because I know my life,
some cool stuff.
But I think salute to them. But for you, like as you started to build and find your interest in this, what did it look like actually building out your contact list in the space of stylists? Like, because that's probably his own thing. Like, it's cool to dress yourself and be like, I think I look good. When did you realize I can make others look good?
When people, I feel like all stylists say this, it's super cliche, but when people give you compliments and when people compliment you, it makes you feel good. It's like, oh, maybe I could do this for other people. Yeah. So I just started doing it, started building my portfolio randomly. I'm like, I think I want to take this seriously now. Let me start like reaching out. So I just really started connecting with people. I got an internship at Nordstrom that led to a corporate job at Trunk Club. So like it kind of all like kept getting like bigger and bigger. And then I lost my job. So I feel like I had to start over. And I feel like I'm starting over again now, but I'm not as scared as I was before. So
but that's real. Cause like everyone, like you get on a track and you're like, this is the place I want to be. This is the direction I want to go. And I mean, God's plan, right? Like, we don't want to make it seem like it's uncontrolled and like someone else is out for us. It's like you had to get off of that track to be who you want. And I got your early look, but we can take a look at the screen. I did think these photos through going for like, early photos, right? Like you got
shout
people clean
up.
Shout out
Jordan.
I mean, I wasn't gonna get you in trouble later, but but like, you started like putting together early acts like this. I'll even look at some of the other ones and we'll get to a little bit later, but like you really started to kind of put your look together in your page. So what point was it? Was it after losing your job from that career path where you were like, I need to work for me? Like when did entrepreneurship kick in?
It never really kicked in until, because I worked at Trunk Club in 2016. I lost that job for 2 weeks and then I got another job. So I was never like super off the grid until 2019, where I left everything in 2018. I left all my little retail jobs that I had. And I was just by myself, like doing it. And I was good. And then like student loan debt caught up to me and it got bad. And that's when I started like crying, reading the Bible and just really trying to figure out what was happening. And then I realized that, oh, it's just a bump in the road. Like, I'm good. And then it got real good after that. So that's why at this point in time, I'm not even like scared for the new changes that will happen, because I feel like I'm prepared for whatever comes at this point. If that even answers your question.
No, I mean it does, because I think for me, like, and what I consider and what I think about in general is like just how I won't even say like public appearance, but public perception is everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because as you're telling this story of like during this time I had this situation, it got real bad for me. The timeline looked like you've been like, yo, full pedal to the metal. I'm out here and making this work, and you are making it work. So talk about shouldering that and private and building up that courage and that strength, but still producing, because a lot of people, when they find themselves in that state, they normally don't like activate the things that they do. Like it's hard to get support when no one sees that you're doing anything. So talk about being able to still put out stuff while going through with these changes.
Yeah, I mean, I literally just used what I had to get where I needed to be. I didn't have a lot of money, but I had family, so I would always ask them for things that I really, really needed. But other than that, I would do like Instacart. Like what? Like I literally did anything that I could think of that was still like in my lane, not too far outside of my comfort zone, but still allowing me to gain like more and more experience. Instacart is a really good place to like learn how to talk to people, connect with people, technology. Like a lot of people don't think about it like that. They think of it as just like quick, fast money, like whatever. But no, like that was a cool experience. And then I did staging when I was working full time in my business. So 2019, that entire year, I randomly started doing like staging and interior design type stuff, which I really, really enjoyed. Yeah. And it's cool to just try different things and to have people like back you up and to just keep you motivated throughout that point in time. Because that was hard for me, but for some people that may not be that rough, but
no, I mean, it
was bad in my opinion.
It seems like something for me. Like I'd have been like, yo,
it's
honestly,
not what I was used to.
I can't exactly like it's a break in my norm. So like, how do I adjust? How do I get myself on track for it? So bet you get back to your job, you're getting back in the groove. What moment for you did you feel like it's like solidify this path? Because it's one thing to think I can do it. People are complimenting me. But was there like an opportunity or like a shoot that you were just sitting there looking at your work like, oh yeah, I'm on to something. Like I'm in this way.
It's been a couple of times. It hasn't been that many for me because I'm hard on myself. But it was definitely a time where I started doing like really big events, or like, I guess, medium-sized events. I didn't have all this money, but I was still making it work. And I did like different events like the Gold Digger Workshop, which I always forget about. And I saw that you had a picture.
Yeah. We can shout out the Gold Diggers. Gold Diggers.
Gold, yes.
Gold. I mean, GOAL, because I don't need no CC messages, no BCCs coming my way. Like talk about this workshop.
Yeah, so shout out to all of those women who came. Like I didn't pay them; they really like came out and supported. And I still follow all of them. I actually just scheduled a shoot with the girl on the end, Mama Photog. She's definitely doing really, really good.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shortcut.
Far right shortcut right there. Boom. Look at that.
She's
research.
Doing amazing things. And they're all doing really good things, like Keisha and Mariah. Like I know that Mariah was just on the show recently. Yeah. It's just cool to see that the people that I felt were like really good, genuine people are still like doing it. So it's like, oh, okay, I can pick them. Like that's cool. So just being around people like that has helped me to also get to this point. Because there's some negative people out there. I'm negative, but I had to like get around positive people to feel better.
Well, honestly though, and thank you for that, like honesty and transparency, because I don't think that. I mean, I wouldn't say you're a negative person, like. But I know you from like, I know you from like I'm a plus one.
You know the good part of me, and I'm a good person.
Hey, she is a good person. I ain't gonna get no one else in trouble. With that, like, and owning up who you are in this space, like, how do you recognize what's on you to change character-wise along your way versus what might just be a bad energy from someone else? Because that's a real thing, and I think that's an honest point, and I would love to dive into a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's always been like weird with situations like that. Like just being comfortable around people, getting to that point where you could like open up to them and things like that. For me, I feel like I've had a lot of friends growing up, but right now I don't have that many friends. And I used to get so upset, like, why don't I have friends? Like, I feel like I don't have friends, but I actually do. It's just a matter of looking around and seeing the people that have been there instead of trying to find like new people to latch onto. Because if they're real people, then they'll grow with you. And a lot of the people that I surround myself with have been there for a really long time. And I'm just now noticing that. So I didn't realize that at first, but it's just a matter of growing and then, growing with your environment. So,
and it sounds like because the way that this is going, like I love that type of thought process, because it shows that it's not a linear journey, right? Like it's a hey, I'm going this way. Y'all gonna die on Instagram. It's cool. We out here. My charger's somewhere. But it's not just a like I said, linear journey. It's a battle of environment and self. Like you kind of find yourself fighting and balancing between the two. And so you get those moments where, like, even for myself, where I'm like, dang, ain't nobody here. Like I got so much I need help with. And yet there's some people that are like, tell me what you need. Like I can't help you with a what if or a thought. Like, what do you need? And so how do you get kind of out of yourself and start to actually speak to the things that you need and help wise in your path when building out a creative career?
I think I'm figuring that out right now. I don't have an answer because I don't know. Like I want to build a team and I don't know how I'm about to do that. I tried doing it before and it was just like, okay, nothing happened. So I'm in that. I can answer that question probably like next year. So
hey, so we got a pre-episode booking. I mean, these are our confessions. Part 2. We built it, but no, I mean, I think that
that's so hard.
I think that, but it is, and that's why I appreciate you like getting us to this point in conversation, because normally, it's a lot of questions on, well, how was this night? How was this event? But for creators, especially this time of year that we're in, it's a lot of self-reflecting. Like this is the holiday season. You done left Thanksgiving when they like, when you gonna get a real job? Like you as a creative find yourself in this time of year really questioning the path that you chose. And so for someone like yourself who's hit a wall and then push through, you went through the wall. Like you're like, yo, it was tough, but I came through and bounced back. What did that, I don't want to say support system look like, because we talked about that space, but what in it in your process were you able to control at that time?
My sanity.
That's all you can ask for, right? Like, nah, that's real. That's real.
I don't think I'm the type of person to go crazy. Like, I don't feel like I could ever do anything like that, because I'm like, all right, it's not that serious. Like, I'm dramatic, but then I'm like, I'm not that dramatic. But I don't know. What did I have control over? My decisions. Like some of the things that I had control over, I didn't realize I had control over. I'm like, oh, I don't have to do that. I can do this. What am I doing? So just figuring out not to depend on the wrong things and to depend on the right things, because you'll just get all messed up.
So where did the brand name So Sophisticated Chic come from? Like where how'd you get so sophisticated? Like what made you do it? I like it. I like
that you added the so.
Is it? Oh shoot! It's just sophistication.
It's I see, Chris, but
that's it. It's your Instagram that be throwing me.
It's okay.
No, correct me. Check me when I'm wrong. I'm good. I appreciate it. So Sophisticated Chic brand. That's it. It's right. It's right. What inspired the brand?
Tonay, again, I was actually just talking about this situation where I was trying to change my name. I was rebranding myself and I didn't even know I was doing it. But I wanted to change my name. I got a new website. I don't know if I took pictures or not. This was before people was doing photo shoots.
Before it was lit.
Right.
I mean,
and I just really rebranded myself without even rebranding myself. And I called her, asked her, like, what should my business name be? Like, I don't like what I have right now. I feel like it's corny. And she's like, oh, you can do this. Or she said we could do that. And we just came up with Sophisticated Chic. And I love the name, but of course I had to shorten it because I just felt like I was doing a lot because it was kind of long. But Yeah.
So you end up calling, like, what do you call it? What do you reference to that?
Now
you
it's
introduce it?
SCB luxury styling, but that's even longer now that I'm thinking about it.
Nah, we can try, but the logo's fire. We're not gonna look at the logo. Logo's fire. Like, we out here.
Does it look like luxury or does it look like?
Nah. Wait, what was the question?
Does it look luxury or fake? Like, does it look?
No, it looks luxury.
Okay.
Like, I think I mean, let me get in my branded bag for a second.
Like,
I mean, I think the design of it and the cleanness of it is luxury, as well as the open space of it, right? Because luxury, you think of a luxury home, there's space in it. Like, you can feel it. It's high ceilings. It's lit.
Like
it has that idea to it. So that gives me that feeling of luxury, is that there's space, but you still know it's together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey.
So Jordan created that.
Hey.
I mean, art by G-Lo.
Yo, you know what's funny though, and I'm really enjoying this conversation because it's like the realest I can ever be on the show, like, and kick it, like, and get to know someone like from scratch, like literally we doing it from scratch. But like what I realized is people really don't respect people's industry's names when they know them personally. All right, that's
I definitely don't. Sorry.
No, it's all right. It's cool. It's cool. I say that because like my whole situation, because someone jumped in, is like Marcus. Like, excuse me.
If I'm introduced to you as a name, I will always call you that name. I was introduced to you as Cook. So
hey, we lit. Almost lost it because, man, I've been getting Marcus. I've been getting disrespected as Marcus lately. That's what I said. Like, man, Mom, if you watching this, I don't look like a Marcus. No, I'm sorry. But like actually getting back to to where you are and what you do. There's this one video I really want to bring up too, of you teaching. Nah, we can look at the screen together for this one. Like, we going up. Wait a minute. Hey, you got it. It was doing the thing. Wow. Like, this is you and teaching over 35 women.
I didn't even count the number of women in there. Yeah, it was
like,
cool. I was so nervous. I was sweating. I'm sweating right now. I'm a sweater.
I mean, it's also a hot room. Like, we got like mad
but it's
lights
not that hot in here. I just sweat when I get nervous and I get excited, and that was happening at that event. Jordan was there. He was behind the scenes.
Hey, he was the camera guy. But you know what? You said something that was really dope in this too. Like, you even did a cut, and it's something that cues up. But and we can switch it off from here. But you spoke about like how even colors can like deter what you want people to look at. And honestly, in that small clip, I was like, oh, I'm like, but talk about getting out of just styling others and coaching other stylists, because I think that's a big move.
Yeah, that is so fun. So just really, I've been wanting to do that for a long time, but I just didn't know when it was going to happen. And I don't know, I randomly got the urge to just start it at the top of the year. And it really, I don't even have words for like the experience, because I like to do this so much more than I like styling. And I kind of feel bad because I'm like, dang, like that's how I started. Like, how can I coach stylists and not be a stylist myself? But like, I really enjoy telling people what to do and being right.
All right.
And, really helping people to like make money. Like, that's really like, that makes me feel good to know that I'm able to help people like make money and make a living for themselves. So I feel like that's magic. I don't even know how I do it, honestly. So it's really, really cool.
Nah, and we gonna get into like some more stuff that you like, because you got master classes dropping in these streets, like so much that you built from this. And I just like literally, I mean, in my research, and again, I'm not going to bring everything up. We're going to talk off screen, because you're looking at this iPad hard. Like, I think I recognize what I was wearing in that photo. Now, let me tilt my screen a little bit.
I'm trying to prepare myself for what's coming up.
But but with what you've done and what you've built, like, one, talk about finding your target audience specifically, because you did professional women, and I love that, because I might be like, yo, I'm a stylist. I'm with whatever. I'm with, all that. Like, give me that. But you really found your audience. What made you go down that path with women? Because that's also could be a lot and demanding.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I always hope for. I mean, I love dressing myself, so why not dress other women? Sorry, and I'm moving away from the mic. But I don't know. Like, I started off doing editorial styling, which a lot of people don't even really know what that is now, I feel like. But back then people did. So it was like the only type of styling that I thought even existed. And then I got a taste of something different. and I wanted to get a job in like corporate and really get some real money, because I felt like no money was in editorial, at least not in Baltimore County, Randallstown. So I got a different taste of something and I really, really liked it. And I decided to just transition my business to that. And that's when I ended up losing my job at Trunk Club. And I had the business before I lost it, but I didn't really it wasn't how it is now. Like I wasn't treating it like how it is now. So yeah.
And honestly, like, cause I like the overlap of it. Like it's almost like when you're looking back at a story, like when you watch a movie and you get to the end and you're like, oh, this is how it all pieced together. Like this was the overlap and made it happen. Like talk about like what in the working experience, what were you able to take away from the 9 to 5 that you were able to apply to your side hustle? Because entrepreneurs, we don't really know. Like we work jobs, but we be like stealing from the job. Like, man, I ain't never going to have it where you can't call out in less than 24 hours or whatever we want to do, you know? But talk about like some of those educational opportunities, because this is also an industry that you jumped in after school. Like you had to learn on your own. So how was that process?
I really enjoyed it. I always say that was like the shortest, well, it wasn't the shortest job I've ever had, but just the shortest career, I guess you can say I've had, because I thought I was going to be there for so long. And then 8 months later, they're like, oh, yeah, you got to go. I'm like, oh, I literally cried at my desk. Like, what am I going to do? But I really enjoyed that experience though, because it showed me how to talk to people, how to communicate with people, and not just in person, but like through email. Like a lot of businesses don't know how to communicate. They don't offer like quality service, and that's what people are looking for. Even if they don't give it to you, like people will treat you like shit, sorry, and still expect you to treat them like royalty. And that's what I learned at Trunk Club. And I'm like, oh, so that's how people are. Like, this is real life. So let me get myself together. Not everybody's nice. Not everybody's going to like you. Not everybody is going to like, tell you you're cute. Like people are crazy. And I learned that at that job. So that was the perfect experience to help me to become the entrepreneur that I am today, because a lot of entrepreneurs don't get that experience because they try to go straight into it. Like, no, you need like some real experience. Like get a job first.
Nah, fat. Like, I mean, honestly, like for me, I think that there needs to be like high school requirement. You have to work in retail and fast food to at least know how people really are.
Yeah.
Like those are just the two worlds where it's like, oh, y'all gonna be mad at me for the no pickles. Like that's what you upset about. So
you can't get mad about everything.
Yeah, and I think that it's good to gain that experience in that environment, because when you discover it on your own in your own business, the way to put out the fire is a lot harder to figure out, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not like, oh, there's protocols in place for this. It's like, yo, I didn't deliver this on time. This client's going off. I don't know what I'm gonna do, and stress, like little stress.
Especially when you don't have a team, like it's just you. Like what?
Man, what that? I mean, I be doing what? Look, if y'all got an issue with something that come up on the screen, blame the graphic department, which is me. Like it's going like that's literally what it comes down to. Is like you got to take those bumps and bruises sometimes, the thing. But it also lets you know, and I think this is a good question. Like when do you know what to take on yourself and what you should outsource?
I can't answer that question right now either. Like, come back, because I don't know at this point. I literally try to do everything, every single thing. If I don't know how to do something, I try to teach myself, or I go crying to Jordan. That's literally all that I do.
Well, I mean, hey, well, that second option ain't too bad. You know what I mean?
He usually figures it out, so it's cool. It works. But when it gets to a point, when it gets to a point where he doesn't know what to do, then that means it's a problem. Like, gotcha. So I need to really outsource somebody and really hire somebody. But I literally, like, I do all my content. I send all my emails. Like, I schedule stuff. I market myself. Like, I actually just invested in a marketing coach. Shout out to Candace Janae. She's super cool. She's from Chicago. And I just connected with her earlier this year. She did a free conference at the top of the year. And I've been connected with her ever since. And she's a really cool person, and she teaches a lot of great things. So that's another thing that I learned during this time, to just really invest in yourself and not be scared to do it, because it's a scary thing to put out over $1,000 for yourself, not really knowing if something is going to work. And if it's your money, it hits even harder because my parents, like, if I ask them, they might do it, but I don't really care about the outcome. I mean, I care, but
you know this recorded, right?
Harder.
Like, don't get
they
your.
don't have Instagram.
I'm about to say, don't get your Christmas gift shorted with a note saying you know what you spent.
No, but seriously, I care when people support me.
Of
my
course.
Parents definitely, but it's completely different when it's your money. So it's like when it's your money, it makes you work even harder because it's like I ain't wasting my money.
No, that's a fact. And I think even still, like, to that point you make, like, you know, it's that sense of ownership. That's what I think I see, like, and big, and me being the youngest child myself, I have that same, like, idea of, like, no, I want something that's mine. This was my older siblings thing. Like, when it gets to me and mine, like, that's when I care about it more. That's when I'm going to feed
like
that animal, the dog. It's like that idea of, like, you know, because of where you fall in the family, sometimes you end up, like, not wanting to fall in that way in life as well. And so you have a sense of ownership, a sense of responsibility when it comes to things that you built. But you did talk about your scapegoat of a J-Law in the back pocket. And that's a nice card to play. That's a nice card to play. You played that card so well that you did a drop. Like, you did a whole drop. Like,
yes. I love that. Like, I'm so happy at how it turned out. I didn't think it would. I always thought it would work. Don't get me wrong. But I didn't think me and Jordan would work doing it. Like, I feel like we would argue, and we argue a lot, but not that much. But it was a really, really cool experience. And we were able to bring family and friends together. It didn't cost a lot of money, and it was cool. So, and we made a lot of money from it. So I'm glad people support that experience, and I'm glad they liked it.
And we're gonna look at one of your pairings of this outfit, right? Because this, I mean, you can't just get the shirt. You got put a little razzle dazzle to it. Like, this little razzle dazzle we got right here. It won't even switch over. So we're gonna make sure technical difficulties. Once again, we're gonna blame the technical department, me, for not pulling up the actual photo. But yes, like so you even, like, I like how you put so many different styles to it. In fact, the better way to do it is to just go to video, right? Because you a whole content creator with this too. If we can play it, can we look at this?
I was stressed out.
Look at
literally this. Cussing the entire time. Mad at Jordan for I don't even know what reason, but just mad at him. I couldn't do it. It took me, how long did it take us to do that? Like 3 hours. Like, and it looks so simple, and it's still not where I want it to be. So
it's 20 seconds. Like, that's content.
That's why I can't be no influencer.
You can't be one time.
It's too much.
one real. You kept it real once.
It's too much, but it works. So, and that's the hardest thing. Like, the stuff that I don't want to do be the stuff that I'll be needing to do, and I don't want to do that.
So let's have this conversation, because I think, like, there's, like, probably a group of people watching this with you, like, watching this and, like, yes, I don't want to do it. So how can it get done?
Right.
And it's like, where do you find as your sacrifice point? Like, what is it that you're like, you know what, I am willing to do this if it brings me X? Like, do you have that threshold for yourself?
Going live on Instagram, yes. Like, I literally try to go live once a week. I went live on my page yesterday, which I hate doing on my page, but I did it and it went okay.
What makes you hate that process? I'm curious.
It's like, I feel like my clients aren't really on my page, my personal Instagram. I feel like it's just friends and family and, like, people that know me from, like, going to different events. But, like, none of y'all, like, trying to buy from me. And not to say that y'all won't ever, because some of y'all have. And I'm saying y'all, trying to include y'all, but
no, and darn well, I ain't the demographic. I ain't the core audience. I can't even support. Like, I want to, but it's like, what I'm gonna do? Like, I'm gonna give it to them.
I just don't expect the people that follow my personal page to be a client.
Sure.
That's why I created the separate pages, and I'm on those more. But I need to be on my personal page more. Like, it's a battle with myself. It's tough.
And I think what that comes to, because it genuinely, like, people who follow your personal page, like, I got yelled at today because my personal page is a bunch of flyers for a show that I do that has its own Instagram.
That's what you do.
It has its own Instagram, so they don't know why it's on my page. I don't have the right answer for you. But what I've also come to realize is like that whole 3 degrees of separation, right? Like, we don't know who knows the next person in the room. Like, I don't know who knows you that's watching this and tuned in for the first time because you're on it. And they're like, hey, I like his show. This guy's a pretty decent person. He knows English, like just basic things about me. And I think that's what we show our audience when we do things on our page. But we do know that they're not our target demographic. So we're not putting marketing ads behind on our personal pages. It's like, if you either love me or leave me alone, in the words of Jay-Z, and I don't know if that's the right incentive for audience, but like with what you're doing and what you're built, like you've done the styling for others. You've put out a whole shirt that's a whole move with a whole painting, like everything that came with this. Like, moving as you continue to expand in this coaching realm, what are some things that you're looking forward to giving back to a style? Like, what would you tell a stylist starting out? Like, hey, I'm interested in this career path. What does that look like starting out?
It's a bumpy road. You have to be open to like trying new things and not really being traditional. That's not a traditional industry. So you can't go in it thinking like, oh, I could just do what she's doing and it'll work. Like, no. But I feel like I always contradict myself when I say that because I'm teaching like exactly what I did. But I know from experience that what I did actually works. And I think it's important. And I feel like what a lot of stylists, don't know is a lot of the stuff that I talk about. So I'm really just out here trying to help people, honestly, trying to save people the headache, trying to save people the money, and really just tell them like it's really not like all that it's cracked up to be, but it's fun and it's like, I don't even know how to explain it, but for me, I enjoy like the challenges. So even though I cry and I kick and scream every single time, but I get through it because I don't know. I just feel like I know that I'm going to be successful. I just don't know when it's going to happen. So I'm just waiting. Like,
and that question, and I know there's a whole legacy question I asked at the end, but I think even success can be relative. So what do you deem as success in this stylistic industry?
I really hate that question.
All right, we don't gotta ask it. Like,
I'll answer it.
I never know. We kind of got control over the show and we can decide what we want to talk about.
I just feel like y'all expected me to say something real deep, and I don't know if I got anything real deep to say.
Real? Did you see me? Deep person?
But I don't know. I honestly feel like success is just being at peace with where you are and understanding that no matter what decision you make in life, you're still going to be good, like regardless, if you believe that you're going to be good. That's why I feel like entrepreneurship really brought me closer to God. And I like been praying every morning, just asking him to like keep me grounded so I don't like go crazy, because it's so easy to just lose control. I feel like even though we have so much control, we forget how much control we have and we lose it. Yeah. And I don't think I've gotten to that point, and I pray that I don't. So what I've been through, though, personally for me has been a lot, but for some people it may not be that bad.
Yeah, but I think it's all like I said, it's relative, but it's also personal experience, because it's the same reason why a kid who was born in a wealthy family needs to go to therapy just as much as a kid who's coming out underprivileged situation. Because when you realize no matter where you are, you're going to experience some level of difficulty according to the life that you have. Mm-hmm. Bullying to some level of difficulty of the life that you have. And so when you get to the space like you're referring to, where success is honestly just being able to find comfort in the risk that you're taking. Mm. Like to be able to say, yo, I don't want to check in at this place on a daily basis and have to make a living off of that. Like if I can do this, like it's the world is in a pandemic and you don't have to become an essential worker and force yourself to be in uncomfortable situations. That's success in a life. That's growth. And to find you that you're able to do this at such a consistent amount of time in entrepreneurship too is major. Like
I feel so like young. I still feel like, sorry, y'all.
Nah,
you
good.
A teenager in high school. Like I feel like a child. And then I'm thinking like, shoot, like I'm about to be 27 next January. Like the January coming up. Like I'm old as crap. Like maybe I should be further along. Like I always think about that to myself. But then I'm like, no, like I think I'm okay. Like let me just, wait it out and be good.
Yo, let me tell you, and what's up to my guy Darius? He checked in on it. You know what I mean? He checked in on the YouTube. You know what I mean? We want to show love to my
Hey,
guy.
Darius.
You know what I mean? He out here. But to your point and what you're saying, like, you know, I think I love how this conversation is because it's centered around a lot of our creative dilemmas, like the things that often hold us back. And one of the things that I can even say, like, you know, the rule book that was set before us as to what you need to have by when, it doesn't exist. Like I would even sit with friends and I would tell them like, yo, when we think about it, right? And this is, please pardon if this takes a different direction than normal, but I would think about like how many generations, like 3 or 4 generations you're probably removed from slavery, right? Just in general. Everyone who came after that thought that they needed to receive a higher education to be considered equal to the people who once held us, you know, hostage.
It's so sad.
And yet we are now in the generation where we're realizing that our own path is our real value. It's not the structured get married by this age, go to school, because once you're able to have a cognitive thought, you are put on a track of school. At 5 is when you start kindergarten, and then you're going all the way to 12th grade and then told to go to college. Yeah. There is no point where they ever tell us to stop and actually think about what we want to do and what could our value be to this world. So when you jump off that wheel like you do and become an entrepreneur, you not only change generational, you know, stigmas and curses, but you open up a gate of freedom that's going to provide someone else an opportunity to be free.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you've done. And so I say that to say on 2 parts. One, you aren't a baby in this entrepreneurship thing. Doing this joint more than 6 months is a problem. Like, we still in 2020, and 2020 feels like 7 years. So to do 6 months in this space, and we can even talk about you being in the pandemic and pivoting, but that's it. And on top of that, what is the age requirement for anything, right? Like once you're old enough to rent a car at 25, it's lit. You know what I mean? I'm 30 and I'm still starting the show from scratch and getting it popping. So we out here, but I say all that to say, like, for you, what was this year like and as a stylist and pivoting in this space?
Honestly, I didn't get a lot of business in styling. So I'm so thankful that I decided to start the coaching thing, because it's like that really helped to sustain like my entire like life this whole time, on top of the job that I had at Amazon. So it just happened so quickly and so like randomly. I wasn't really prepared for it, but I'm like glad it happened, because last year, like, I ain't have nothing, like literally like not paying my student loans, like they was about to call me and I was probably going to get arrested because it was so much money. Like, I have so much student loan debt and I was not paying anything because I didn't have anything to pay. I was full-time in my business, and I knew something had to change. So my parents, they were like telling me like, yo, you need to get a job. I'm like, I don't want to get a job. And to come out of that and get a job that is in my industry that I actually like I'm working from home. I could literally work from home and do my business stuff at the same time. I was making money doing that. And making money doing my business. Lit. So it was really, really cool. But I feel like now things are about to change again. And I feel like I'm kind of ready, but I feel like there's still some stuff I need to figure out. But yeah, like, it was hard, but it was really, really fun, because it was some days where I was making like a lot of money. I'm like, oh, wow. And then there's other days I'm like, I'm not really making that much in my business, but I still got my 9 to 5 to fall back on. So it's cool. Like, I love those people who can use their 9 to 5 experience and their entrepreneurship business and make it work, because some people hate doing that. And I always say, like, just keep your job. Like, if it's something you like, just keep it.
And honestly, keep it till you don't want it anymore, right?
Until they fire you.
I mean, one of the
or
two.
whatever.
Whatever comes first, whatever you figure out. But no, because that's the best way to do it. And if you're in that space, it's smart to do it, because think about it. Like, if you don't, most businesses don't make money within the first year. Let's keep it a buck. Like, unless your name rhymes with Morton Mawson, you know, you're not going to make bread like that in the first year.
And move on at the same time.
But, you know, when you're someone, like, when you are actually able to work on your business And I tell people sometimes, if depending on your culture of your job, be honest with them about what you want to do, because they might be able to support you. Then they'll be able to be like, oh, you know what? Hey, keep going. Like, take your time, do what you need to do. You're able to learn, get on work experience, and then you're able to provide for yourself while you build this whole entity out. So I think that, again, this whole pandemic switch was tough. I think that you literally got ahead of the curve by switching to coaching before like everybody and their mom was dropping training.
Nobody had no idea that this was happening. It's crazy how stuff happens, but
and so and we talk about like not being prepared for what's next, but talk about just staying ready. Like, what does staying ready feel like and look like as for yourself?
I don't even know. I guess using what you have, like I said before, and getting where you need to be. So, when you do get the little bit of money, use it like in a smart way. Don't like go out and get like a car or like clothes, like invest it back into your business, invest it back into yourself. And that's really the smartest thing you could ever do. Like, God literally said that in the Bible. I don't know like all the verses and stuff, but I just remember the story where he was saying like, he gave 3 people, different amounts of money, and the person that had the most or the person that had the least held on to it.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you have to invest it. You have to put it back into someone else or yourself. And that's literally what I've been doing. And it's been working, and it's scary, but it's like, as soon as I give something away, I get it right back. It's like, again, magic. I don't even know.
Nah, look, since we're talking magic, right? You a whole wizard out here. Let's talk about, you got a whole university. Let's talk about Project Style University, right? We out here all day. Like, talk about one, what made you go to this coaching program direction and calling it this?
My sister and Jordan, they pretty much helped me come up with the name. I had no idea what I wanted to call it. I had like 3 options, and we kind of combined all 3. But I knew that I had a lot of knowledge in this industry from everything that I went through. And I knew that people were in need of it. I always got questions. And at first I wasn't really paying attention to them. I'm like, oh, just do this. Like, what? This is easy. What are you talking about? Why are you asking me? Like, What do I look like? But then I started paying attention, and I'm like, oh, like maybe I'm doing something that people aren't doing. How about I teach it and like see if it helps people? And it did. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, maybe I can make some money off of it. That's like the business mindset. I always try to make money off of literally everything that I do after I test it out first to see if it works. But then, I make sure that I'm giving value. I make sure that I'm actually helping people, because I hate taking people's money. Like, I literally hate it, because I feel like if I'm not helping you, then you don't need to pay me, even though I gave you everything that I had.
Man,
and it's crazy.
Yeah, we you and me both. I'll be like, take all that information. Yeah, I mean, I can't charge you for that, but this what you. But that's tough, right? Because and it's interesting or funny, because I don't want to say funny, but I know it's a thing, because here you were just saying like, I could be considered negative, but then you're just giving away business for free. Like, that ain't no negative thing. You're a whole nice person, But talking about that is kind of just thinking about like just kind of a development of what you've been doing and where you're continually taking this business and brand. And I love that aspect of, once, for anyone out there, once 3 people ask you the same question, bundle it up.
You got you.
Figure it out. Like that's the top of your sales funnel, whatever that moment looks like. And we often overlook it because we're like, I just do this every day. I set up this live. I set up this,
This is normal for
right?
me.
Like, this is my everyday. And you found value in that. And that's a credit to you and your circle. So what does networking look like for you? Like, what does it mean to actually, how do you connect with people that you're able to build with? Like,
well, now it's been difficult because I used to go to a lot of events, but now I don't. And the virtual events are cool, but it's not the same experience. I can't like see people's faces. I just see like, either a little avatar or it's like frozen, but it's a lot.
It's bad. It's real bad.
I really haven't connected with too many people. It's funny that I say that because I have but I just feel like I haven't as many as I normally would. But just really hitting up the people that's been there, like I said in the beginning, and just reaching out to them, seeing if they can help, and the people that they know, they'll help. So it's a lot of mutual stuff happening right now because we just got to get with the people that we know and the people that they know to get what we need. So
that's the playbook, and I like how you elevate it and utilize that. I want to go to one of your early style shoots because like I was really like, for those who don't realize that she's been about this life, like these is years of you putting in work. Gosh. Have you stopped to appreciate how long you've been committed to this industry?
No, I have not until this year.
Okay. And what brought that to light for you this year?
Being at home and not really having anything to do. And not being able to go to events and just looking at people's posts on social media and not having no content and having to go back and look at old pictures like I need something to post and then like realizing like, oh, wow, that was like 3 years ago. Like it's crazy. And you really don't realize how much you've grown or how much like work you've done until you get like so far away. And it's funny to like think of all this stuff like, dang, that was really like 2011. Like it's crazy. So, I mean, I'm realizing that right now that we're home, I don't have a lot to do. And I'm just looking at my journey like, okay, I didn't think I had a story at first.
Now you got a story like, and we ain't like
I didn't think I had a story.
You talk about
my life is boring.
Youngest sibling, and we didn't get into like a whole upbringing conversation, but just, seeing bits and pieces of that and how your parents support you now. Like, one, how was it convincing your parents that this is something that you really want to do?
They didn't like take it badly, but they were always like sending me jobs. And I'm like, okay, they do know I'm not like getting a job. Like this is real life. Like I know what I'm doing. I'll figure it out. I'm good. But then it always got to a point where they like had to like check me. And I'm like, okay, maybe I need to like do something different to make them feel, confident in the choices that I'm making. Because I'm confident, but I want them to believe like this is gonna work. And eventually it got to that point. But when I got a job again, it was like they were good. They're
like, all right, something's holding you down.
Yeah.
Do what you need. Take whatever. Hey, this is the risk year. Risk it up.
Yeah.
Risk it completely. Do your thing.
And just being able to do both of them has been like, I haven't heard nothing from them since. So it's been cool. They taken it pretty well, I would say. But it was some times where they were like getting on my nerves. Like, all right, I gotta go.
It's all like I said, pursuing a passion or a dream is the hardest thing to convince those who denied theirs for the life that they were told they're supposed to do. You know? But that's not at anybody. That's just a thought. But first off, thank you. Like, thank you for just being transparent and having this conversation and literally let me get to know you like on live TV. But with this, like normally we get to this point and I want to ask, what does legacy look like for you?
Legacy for me looks like, I guess, being able to invest in other things and make really, really good choices. And even if we make a bad choice, we don't feel bad about it. So just understanding that, I'm going to make mistakes and being okay with those mistakes. And just humbling myself, not letting money make me go crazy or like material things make me go crazy. And just being able to like invest in others too. I feel like that's very, very important because I wasn't able to always do that. But now I feel like I am. And it feels good to be able to invest in people that you like and you care about. So that's what I would consider as legacy.
Hey, and you striving for it. You're doing the right things in terms of like what you're working towards, giving back. Like you already give back in free game, free value, free gems, that you drop. Just, that's kind of been you laying that foundation for your legacy. And I like what you said of being able to like make choices and not regret it, because one of the things I even thought of, I think of often is, money's the least creative form of currency. Like finding other ways to add value to those around you, to those that you're caring about, and you've done that on a few levels. So please tell us, how can we support you? Where do we tap in at next? Let us know. Let the people know.
Yeah, I mean, just follow me on Sophisticated Chic, or see, you got me saying it.
See,
Chic Chris. That's my personal page. And once you get there, you'll be able to find everything else. I feel like if I try to spell it out, I'm gonna misspell it because it's a long.
It's
name.
right on the bottom for you.
See,
Look
it's
at
floating
you.
at the bottom.
We got you.
But yeah, I mean, just stay connected with me. I am hosting a masterclass next Wednesday for stylists and really giving my all again. But it's only for an hour and 30 minutes. And then I'm launching a course in January. So it's a lot coming up. I just pray that everything works out the way that it's supposed to work out. Because yeah.
Hey, nah, God's got you.
I needed to work.
Look, but again, you know, and this is, you know, I know that you've been on this faith walk in your entrepreneurship, but you know, I would want to encourage you on that path. One, to keep the faith, and two, to understand that, you know, where you go and where, like, when that tug is like, yo, this is my spirit to bring it to life, it's on you to deliver it. Or because if you sit on it too long, you're gonna see someone else do it, and then you're gonna be like, this isn't the case. And taking a step back even more so, when you sit on it, someone else doesn't become free because you've held back. So, you know, I appreciate what you've offered in this world, in this place. I am not a professional woman, so I'm sorry I can't get that service. But what I will say is, you know, from what I've seen in our passings, you've been consistent, and you've understand your value. You've understand sticking to your value. You understand what it means to set your price and not waver.
I'm getting to that point.
Hold that bar, you know,
Yeah.
like, so from all that you've done, I'm excited to see what's next. I'm looking forward to it. So y'all check out the masterclass that's coming up next Wednesday,
Link in bio.
January. She on your head with a course, right? All of that. But with that said, thank you again. We're going to jump over to my guy, Blue Hef, who's been cooking up this beat. Hef, what you got for us on that side, my man?
All right, been cooking up, and this is what I got.
Blue Hef, Blue Hef, Blue Hef.
My time. Thank you, Cook Man. Thank you for having me. Cooking up, chefing up my recipe. And you can follow me on Instagram again as BLUEH3FF. I got music on all streaming platforms. I got a beat tape on there called Show 'Em the Work. So just follow me on Instagram, and I got more content coming your way. All right.
All right, my man Hef, I like that little bounce. I had a little, you know what I mean, little bop going over here. I appreciate you, man. Continue to do your thing. We continue to love what you got going on there, bro. But with that said, we are wrapping up. Any final wrap-ups for the creatives out there?
Just do what feels right to you. Say a prayer. And really figure out like what you're doing. And be strategic. Make good decisions because you know they're going to lead to good things. Don't just like be out here doing stuff.
Nah, that's valid.
I don't know how good of advice that was. But.
Nah, it's great, and to add to help build, right? Because
Yes.
collaboration is key. You want to make sure too, like, don't like as you are perfect yourself, but don't also be afraid to try. Like try it on your own, figure it out, get it right. Present it to the world as you feel fit, as it moves in your spirit. Yeah. You know, when you get that tug, don't hold back. So good morning to all my creatives. I appreciate Christen for holding it down with me today. Y'all out there, y'all stay cooking. Take care.